Greetings to each and every one of you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Another Monday morning, another program, and I'm here to discuss some of those most important aspects of life that often enough may go undiscussed. And I find this opportunity to shed some light on some of these subjects, and hopefully you'll find them interesting enough and helpful enough to utilize. And if you have any questions, I'm always here to discuss them with you. This is Dr. Daniel Sadigh, the founder of Wheel of Wellbeing in Los Angeles, and along with my wife, Coach Bonnie, we have been working on bringing wellness and well-being to our community for the past couple of decades. And now with this opportunity of this format of Togetherness Media, we have a better chance of getting connected with you and having this format in as productive way as possible that we can. So welcome again, and let's just jump into the topic. The topic I have picked for you today is grudges and hatred. Those are some negative feelings that each one of us can come to some sort of a negative feeling that goes on the verge of holding a grudge or even hating someone or something. But where does it start? When your ex-husband, for example, is cheating you out of your financial part, and you feel that your rights are taken away from you. There are certain feelings that are coming up, and you might be holding a grudge or even hate your ex-husband. If your girlfriend has been cheating on you and you were in love with this person, and you realize that, well, it didn't mean the same for your girlfriend and they had no regard for your feelings, so that would create some negative feelings, which again will result in grudges or hatred. Or even if you're at work and one of your colleagues is sabotaging your stability in the company, and they're taking away a lot of your virtues and values in your work, what would happen? Maybe again, holding grudges against this person or hating this person because you feel betrayed, because you feel that some wrong has been done to you. So in all of these examples, the common denominator is feeling wronged. When we feel wronged, when we feel that we have a wound opened as the result of someone's behavior or someone's action, that is where this pain and this internal pressure starts building up, and we create some sort of a resentment towards that person or that subject for a very long time. Now, if we want to go through a little bit more of detail, what are the reasons that we hate? The hate is a degree of a higher holding grudge. So it's more internalized and is more prevalent in our way of functioning or feeling towards someone else. So this dislike or or ill will towards someone not only is toxic, it's something that we're holding inside. It is not going to help us. It is not going to really do anything to resolve the situation or even make the other person to change course or change action. This is just our internal feeling of holding something inside that is taking space, taking pressure, and is not allowing us to really enjoy life. It gets on the way of self-soothing, self-healing. So that's why it's so important to realize where this hatred is coming from. What are the roots of that? There are 4 reasons that I have cited for you, and these are generally the basic ways that this hatred or dislike, intense dislike, is created. Okay, number 1 is envy or jealousy towards something that someone has and you don't have. So if this person has a situation that you're really not privileged of having, well, it is jealousy, it is envy, and at the result you may feel like something from you is taken and you're wrong because this person now has something that you should have had. That pain is lacking something. That pain is an emptiness inside, and that's one of the worst ways of having hatred, because this internal emptiness, this internal vacuum, it's really hard to feel. No, it's not hard to feel, it's hard to fill up. So the vacancy, or that room, is a place that no matter how much you put in it, this resentment and hatred, it's so big and so deep that there is no way that you can fill it up with anything. So that is number one. Number two is having contempt for another person, as you may see them bad, improper, or you can find them hurtful to you. You can find them as person that has taken certain security away from you, and this lack of security, this lack of a position of safety and comfort opens up wounds. And imagine if you have had similar wounds in the past, now this person becomes the sign of all of these pains that you've been carrying for years, and a deep sense of hatred goes towards this person who has, again, wronged you or has made you feel that you have inferior values, or you assign inferior values to them. So this value system is what is affecting this degree of hatred. If I feel devalued, I'm going to start building resentment, grudges, and then hatred. Number three is learned hatred, and this learned hatred goes back into our family system, goes back to our communities, cultures, and unfortunately racism could be seen as that kind of a hatred, which we have been harboring from our previous understandings, judgments that it has been introduced to us, and we have not been able to see this independently the other way around, and we have been stuck with this general feeling of disagreement and discontentment with person or a kind of person that we judge against. And the last one is feeling humiliated or mistreated by another person, which creates more anger and revengefulness. So when we are in that situation, we are feeling wronged, we are feeling that our values are made fun of, or disagreed with, or humiliated, or criticized. And if that happens often, and we already have a low degree of self-esteem, then imagine what happens. And that would be the time that, again, hatred and disregard will be built inside, and we act upon them. Well, the act that we do is really not a positive action. The action is actually our reactions, because the reactions are into abhorring something. The strongest word in the English language for describing our discontentment or hatred towards something is a sense of abhorring something, which means that you are to your core against this. Your existence is in fear and in horror of this situation or this phenomena, which creates, again, another vacuum inside, which takes us back to the route of grudges and hatred. And hatred then becomes this emotion that has been built upon several different feelings. We have talked about our feelings and emotions in many of our programs, and I'm going to repeat it one more time. Emotions are reactions. Emotions are how we just show up in regards with events that happen to us without realizing the feelings that are causing that emotion. So if we break down the emotions into feelings, then we can have some sort of a solution, some sort of a remedy. And I'm hoping that you start really looking into your feelings more and more as we are moving on in life. So these feelings that are created in hatred are generally about feeling disregarded, disrespected, disvalidated, disturbed, disheartened. There are so many disses. So, and this is really meaning lack. You know, when we diss someone, we are taking something away, right? We're taking something away from their values. So a lot of our feelings of disses, which is taken away from us, are creating this emotional reaction which we are going to bring forward into our relationship, and most importantly, unfortunately, holding it inside of ourselves, which can drive us to extreme behavior. So these emotions or reactions become our behaviors, and these behaviors are, for example, our facial expressions when we see something that we don't like and other people can see how uncomfortable or disgusted we are. Another word under hatred, disgusted about these feelings. So this feeling of disgust then shows up in our behavior through our words, through our actions, through our connections and communication styles with other people, which creates again more problems, more distance, and it wouldn't be helping you. It cannot be resolving the hatred and anger and anguish that you have built inside. The disagreements are not going to go away. Well, what are we going to do then? Then, unfortunately, these self-sabotaging feelings inside of us cannot be helped except for one thing. Can you guess it? Self-love. Without self-love, all of these feelings are going to be internalized and eating us up. And without self-love, self-appreciation, self-understanding, really knowing ourselves, it is going to be very difficult to get over any kind of hatred or the grudge. But I want to make it a little bit easier, and I have listed a few 6 ways that you may be able to ease up and let go of grudge and hatred, and make this a possibility for you to free yourself from such pain and suffering that holding grudges and especially hatred is creating inside of you. So number 1 on this list is acknowledging your hurt. Okay, we need to understand carefully, as I said, what is this hurt? Where is it coming from? What feelings are triggered? And these feelings are what we need to acknowledge, to understand, and to know what is happening inside of us. Find the feeling words. Number 2 is consider accepting. I apologize. Consider accepting your part and forgive yourself before you want to forgive somebody else. Because, you can still blame yourself for this situation as you have put yourself in the harm's way, as you have allowed this situation to happen to you. So that part of it needs to be dealt with. You cannot just go against yourself and be angry with yourself all the time for this. That will help you to release some of the hatred. Number 3, understand the hated person's shortcomings. Have some empathy for this person. Understand that this person may not really even know how horribly they have been acting, or where they're coming from with having so much negativity in them, or the havoc that create in other people's lives. So having some contempt, having some empathy for this other person, and trying to understand that, look, they don't know any better. That may be very helpful to you. Number 4, observe your anger and see how hard it is to let go of the anger forever. Well, anger is a big problem. As a anger management provider, I can tell you for sure that anger can eat you up. And the worst part of this hatred is the anger that you're harboring inside of you. So dealing with anger and taking the deep breaths, understanding your situation, creating more values in yourself, working on your self-esteem, and especially creating boundaries, which is the next topic, is really important. And so number 5 is focusing on your boundaries. If somebody has hurt you, they have obviously crossed boundaries with you, but then it's up to you now where these new boundaries are set and how you can address the situation going forward. You are the decision maker. You can find your position in relationship with anything, okay? And it cannot be a reaction. It needs to be a thoughtful process of knowing your position, thinking about where you are and what options you have, and then deciding how to face the situation. If you don't want to be in any kind of a contact with your ex-husband or your boyfriend or girlfriend or colleagues, these are all okay. But understand where you are coming from, what are your reasons, and how sincerely with yourself you're looking at this. If you have really been able to let go of it because you understand you had something in it, or you cannot let go of it because an injustice is done to you, these are all important for you to figure out before setting your boundaries. And the last one, which is a little bit maybe out of this regular field, is believing that universe works, okay? There is a justice, overall justice. Obviously, we cannot just let people do injustice to us and kind of we think that the universe is going to take a revenge. It could happen, but again, we don't know that. However, if you believe that while you're doing your best, as long as you're putting all of your efforts to resolve your situations and be responsible towards yourself, making responsible choices, then the rest of it, you can allow the system of the energy field in this universe take care of the situation, and hopefully you can live long enough to see that how these issues are resolved without you needing to hold any anger or resentment. Because the anger and resentment, one more time, are the poisons that they can kill you. I hope that you can take this seriously and understand that holding negative feelings does not anything but to destroy you. That's my message for you today. I hope that by figuring out how balance is affecting you or imbalances are affecting you, you can figure out where to be in life, what kind of a position you would like to have. And in order to get that support, we have created a wheel test or quiz on the Wheel of Wellbeing website. You're more than welcome to take a look at it if you haven't done so yet. And when you take that test, you can see how different areas of your life are affected by balance or imbalance. And once you figure that out, then you can get the proper help to fix the situation, remedy the situation, and change the outcomes. We are here, me and Coach Bonnie, we are here to support you with any questions that you may have in this regard. Once you take the test, you'll be introduced to our programs or offerings. That most important one is the Wheel Select. And if you become a member of Wheel Select, we are able to be directly communicating with you and giving you some personal attention in the question and situations. There are hundreds of hours of material listed there for you, exercises and ebooks and different blogs and topics that you have access to. And you have direct access to myself, Dr. Daniel Sadigh, and Coach Bonnie. My book, Balancing the Wheel, is also on that site, and you can obtain it, use it, because that is about a year of therapy in one book. What I have hoped that I can achieve is by putting in writing what I do about a whole year with a client who comes to me to get through all of their difficulties. Everything is in that book, Balancing the Wheel, and I'm looking forward to be spending more time with you in the coming days. Have a blessed day and looking forward to seeing you soon. Raise your vibration and re-engage with life. Find balance and reconnect with joy. Your vehicle is balancing the wheel, and we're here to support you in becoming more happier, healthier, and successful. wheelofwellbeing.com or drsadigh.com.
Do you have viruses or malware warnings? Have a problem with your computer and need help? 24 hours, 7 days. Computer Emergency Services. Convenience and savings at your fingertips. Download our free app and keep in touch.
At Hello Hollywood, we bring you the best in entertainment, fashion, movies, hit music, gossip, and live from the red carpet reporting. Hello Hollywood is your new choice.
Hello Hollywood.
Hollywood news, Hollywood gossip, upcoming movies, top 10 music, hot news from Hollywood. We have a special report from special events, red carpets, fashion, parties from the heart of Hollywood in Hello Hollywood.
To sponsor this show or for advertising inquiries, call 310-738-7309.
Hello
Hello Hollywood Productions. 310-738-7309.